Happy Monday, everybody. It is me, Joshua R. Pangborn, your host, and this is another episode of SideKick Power Hour, the SideKick Productions live stream, which comes to you to talk about all your favorite queer, fat positive, sex positive, any kind of wonderful juxtaposition of the three of them together, art in the world that we try to put out there together. You know what we make at Psychic Productions, and you know what we like to celebrate, and that's what we do on this show. Uh, Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope everyone out there is having a marvelous Monday. I have had a very exciting weekend. I did a little bit of writing, well, a lot of writing probably, and I also did a little bit of editing on the contract. The writing, I won't talk to you about it, but if you're on the Patreon, you know what I'm writing right now. So if you want to know what I'm writing right now, go to patreon.com/sidekick productions and you'll be able to find out what exactly I'm working on these days. As far as the contract, that's going really well. We are editing. My co-editor and I have about 12 minutes of the film pretty solidly done, which I know doesn't sound like a lot. We have the entire movie on the timeline, and now we are just trying to put together each individual scene, and that takes obviously a little bit more time. But that's coming along beautifully, and I'm really excited. And other than that, I also posted a new video on the Patreon of something I got that's very, very exciting. Uh, all I will tell you is it's in this box. And you'll have to go to the Patreon to find out what's in this box because it is a surprise. As a reminder, I am going up to Boston this weekend to see The Brooklyn Butcher screening, not streaming, it is screening at a movie theater in Boston, the Brattle Movie Theater, as part of the Wicked Queer Festival. And if you're going to be in Boston or around Boston, please come out and join me. It's Saturday at 6 p.m. I'll be there. So will Andrew Carter. So will Paul Anzulis. Ashley Menard will be there, and so will Anthony Smith. And I think that's it from the cast and crew. But you'll also see some wonderful faces from other parts of the Sidekick adjacent universe, including, I think, one of the members, at least one of the members of Death Drop Gorgeous and St. Drogo. So come out and see us in Boston. It'll be a lot of fun. And we love to celebrate and have a good time with people. So I look forward to seeing you in Boston. And that is about what we're doing right now in Sidekick Productions. I always like to catch everyone up. If this is your first time watching the show, I we make a lot of things at Sidekick Productions. We have TV series, we have movies, we have short films, we even have books. I published a book last year, so we have a lot of really wonderful art that we love to celebrate, and we love to talk to everybody about what it is we're doing. We're always working on something here. We're always trying to make something new. Our most recent big project was The Contract, which was a new feature film. It's a gothic erotic horror film set in the world of BDSM and the cabin in the woods, as you so often have. um, and what we're releasing right now on our YouTube channel is the wonderful series Stew Snacks, which is a fun little game show kind of thing where our friend Stuart Kishek will be blindfolded and eat food and try to guess what it is. And Andrew Carter and Paul Anzulis have a fun time picking out food for him that is off the beaten path and just a little bit fun to see his reactions to. So, um, yes, hello, Blacho Bear. Thank you so much for joining us. And we do have some adorable, sexy chubs on the shows and movies that we make. So, if you enjoy that kind of content as well, we're there for you. But we are here tonight because I want to celebrate a wonderfully talented filmmaker and a wonderful person that I have met over my journey in New York City as a filmmaker. We have shared some actors and we have yet to work together, although I hope that that changes at some point. But tonight's guest is Jed Ryan, and Jed Ryan has made a short film and then turned that short film into the sequel, which is a feature film that I think he didn't even know he was going to make at the time when it was a feature when it was being written. It's called Modest Male Exposure. That's the first movie, and then Modest Male Exposure 2, I Dream of Jeans, which if you are a person who grew up with Nick at Night, that's always going to be something that is in my head, thinking about I Dream of Jeannie. But before I bring Jed in, I want to show you the trailer for his film, which is called, again, Modest Male Exposure. I Dream of Jeans. And I'm going to solo this, so you get to focus on this exclusively. And then we'll be back in a few minutes. Check out this trailer, everybody.
You got to earn it. Ain't nothing for free. Are you gonna man up or be up?
Recently, I registered with idreamofjeans.com. I've got some fantastic news.
Well, it ain't easy to be the number one top rocker.
So you resigned yourself to being single and childless, and the universe gave you a son anyways.
Right here.
Oh, well, not such a little tyke, are you? Why, you look like you're old enough to do more than what you can beer.
Do you have something against female sports reporters?
Other than it's a contradiction of terms.
You better leave that male privilege and misogyny at the door before you come in.
I'll leave something at the door.
Yeah, but this is big.
Yeah. But we won't know how big until I'm all filled out. That's what the doctor says.
What is with all the dad jokes?
Didn't you know? I just found out I'm a father. I have a handsome and smart 23-year-old son named Rev.
Congratulations. Now, we're here for a reason.
Yes, we are.
Stay down. Get off me, you fucking guy. Can we kill him now, boss? Please, can we kill him now?
Can you tell dad jokes and eat at the same time?
No, I don't think so.
Good.
As a shocker. Well, it ain't easy to be the number one top rocker. Ow.
God! I quit! I quit! Oh! Get off me, you son of a bitch!
Thank you. Are you going to tell him about the bi-monthly pansexual orgies?
Won't take no for an answer. You're coming on Saturday. Now, remember, it's a devil's ball. Wear red.
Oh, look at that one over there with the shoes.
Oh my God, how does he stand in those things?
Oh,
Slut. Oh God, look at that one over there.
I am. Oh, wow. There we go. Why is my picture so small? I don't know what happened there. There we go. There's so many new buttons in StreamYard right now. I don't understand sometimes what's going on. They keep adding buttons, and it's really, really. I'm sure it's lovely if you are trying to do lots of really wacky things. I'm not. I was. Yes, that is very accurate. I was speechless mostly because I didn't know why was my face so tiny, and I couldn't figure out how to get it bigger again. Also, what an awesome trailer, and I think I know very, very, very well one of the actors that we saw in the trailer a few times, Mark Eugene Garcia, who is a delightful member of our Crewniverse, is also in this movie. And You see a great deal of him apparently based on this trailer. So I've seen a great deal of him in various other things, but this, in this you see a great deal of him above and below the waist. The trailer also makes me speechless because oh my goodness, you see a lot of Mark and you see a lot of other folks. So, but that's I think one of the benefits of what Jed is doing is he's trying to bring in something that you don't see a lot of because it is not something that people are necessarily comfortable with, and that's incorporating male nudity into films. So we have me talking about it, but instead of me, though, why don't we bring in Jed so he can talk about it? Hello, Jed.
Hey, hello everybody. Hello, Josh.
How are you tonight?
I am doing great. Happy Monday. And like you said, who says Mondays have to be boring, right? This is proof that they don't have to be. I mean,
That's
look
why
what
I
we're
do this
doing.
show on a Monday because I don't, who wants a Monday to be boring? So I make it fun on a Monday night. So
Exactly. Wow. Did I hear you use the term fruitiverse before?
the Crooniverse, yes.
The crew. Oh, okay. I
The
like that.
Crooniverse is the thing that the fans have like to sort of call what we have in Sidekick Productions because it is sort of it comes from Skeleton Crew and then which was our first show and then so the Crooniverse is everything that's adjacent to it. So
I love that. Well, thank you for having me in the sidekick verse.
you're welcome, and we've got a lot of people here joining you. I mean, I think you have a lot of people who have said hello. Hi, Nico.
All
We've got
right.
Clover here. I know Clover. Hello, Clover.
Clover, Lady Clover Honey. Do we love Lady Clover Honey? Yes, we do. Yeah. All right.
Hi, Tony. And hi, Jim. We've got a lot of people here. This is a very popular show. You're very popular, Jed. You've brought a lot of crowd, a big crowd.
Oh, please. You're going to make me blush. And big, strong, hairy, masculine leather daddy bears like me, we're not allowed to blush, remember?
You just have to say that it's a lot of it's alcohol. That's all. Just say it's an alcohol.
Absolutely.
So, how was Modest Male Exposure 2? Tell us about it.
Wow. Well, first of all, I'm so happy because I just found out, like literally only a couple of days ago, we were accepted into the Poor Life Choices Comedy Film Festival, which is based in California.
That's amazing.
Yes, and
a very accurate film festival for this film, I think. So
no doubt. And a couple of years ago, when we did the first one, Modest Male Exposure 1, we were selected in the category of Best Mockumentary, and that was 2022. We lost, but it was a great experience because that might have been the last live film festival they had. So we had to go to California, right? And we have to go.
Yeah, of course.
And but it was just such a great time. And when I first, a couple of years ago, heard that, the Poor Life Choices Comedy Film Festival, I said, oh, no, this is something we have to enter. This just really just describes our sense of humor so well. And
I feel like I have to enter that now next year. So I'll have to find a way to do that.
Yeah, this year it's going to be. It was in East LA at some place called either the Cat's Claw or, well, the event was at either the Cat's Claw or the Cat's Scratch or the Cat's Meow, somewhere like that. It was just far enough from Hollywood where you can still see the Hollywood sign in the distance, but it was great. And it was 4/20, April 20th, 2023. And they gave out lanyards, and each lanyard had a joint in it when you walked in, which was great.
Wow.
Yes.
I guess it is Poor Life Choices indeed.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. This year, unfortunately, it's only online, which is great because more people will see it that way. But, you know, I kind of miss what you're going to be doing this weekend, putting on a cute outfit and walking down the red carpet and having everybody applaud and take a photo. So congratulations to you for that, for the Wicked Queer Festival in Boston, and for 2 full-length movies, A Taste of Youth and The Brooklyn Butcher. Ooh, wow, that's awesome.
We're trying to keep up and have a good time and make as much as we can in the time that we have. So that's sort of what that's my motto is use the time I have to make as much wonderful content as I can. So
absolutely. And the idea for Modest Male Exposure 2, I think that you hit the nail on the head, which is great because I don't remember. I guess we must have talked about it, how it was not, I didn't intend to make a full-length feature. The sequel is 96 minutes. It probably could have been longer than that if we just kept on going. The first movie that we did, Modest Male Exposure 1, was a 25-minute film that Lady Clover Honey had the idea for, and I share this viewpoint. We wanted to explore, as you mentioned, male nudity, attitudes towards male nudity between the generations and between the genders, and we wanted to really explore that a little bit. And what resulted was Modest Male Exposure 1, and we got a lot of positive feedback, and I was very happy about that. But this time around, I wanted to take the same characters, mostly the same four guys, myself and Trevor, who's played by Mark Eugene Garcia, and Fred, who's played by Rocco Chanel, who's a great burlesque star. And of course, I don't have to tell you about Mark Eugene Garcia. We love Mark Eugene Garcia. We love Mark Eugene Garcia. Are you watching now?
Mark is my everything. He's such a delight. So.
But I wanted to give these, and of course, Goldie, who is played by Lady Clover Honey. I wanted to give these characters more to do than just stand around and admiring each other's penises there. Yes, I wanted to give them more to do than just stand around naked. Not that there's anything wrong with that, by the way. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So
we
I wanted
all forms of nudity in SideKick production. So yes, we love that. So
yes. I wanted to give them girlfriends or boyfriends. I wanted to each of them to have their own character arc. I wanted to just put a lot more in there, and I wanted my character to have a real story to tell, and it was actually based upon a real story, actual true story about my own experience.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Well, for the record, I don't have any children, not that I know of, but in Modest Male Exposure 2, my character Sam finds out that he has a 20-something-year-old son that he did not know he had. And I don't know if this was your experience as a gay man or for any of you out there that are watching, but I know that when I was a teenager and all that, and a young adult, I tried to I didn't want to be the way I was. So I tried to literally when I was in college, I just was trying to have sex with every girl that was willing. I was really trying to just F the gay away. I really was. And I was hoping that if I could do that, I could cure myself. And, reading a lot of dirty magazines, a lot of straight PORN and that kind of thing, I was really hoping that I could cure myself, which it didn't work. Imagine that.
I'm shocked. Usually that's such an effective way to do it usually. So. No, I know a lot of people who are like that, though. I mean, a lot of people who would. I have a family friend who would go to church and just pray to get rid of it, and to be normal. I mean, there's plenty of people who tried to be different and be straight, basically through the use of other people who were also straight. So it's a very typical thing, I think, and I think that's at the core of, and that's really, I think, something that you can do that's really fun with a movie like this, which is you can tell a really real story at the core of all this zaniness that you have going on.
Right. In this case, it was because my junior year in college, I was dating a girl, and we had sex, and she vanished, and I never heard from her in her senior year. She just never came back to school for the senior year, and I started to wonder in my head, oh my God, maybe she's pregnant, because she was she was Irish Catholic, and it was a different time back then, so she was a good girl, and I'm like, oh, good Lord. And basically this wonderment, or wondering, making up our own words again, wonderment turned into this whole fantasia of oh wow, well, what if a guy finds out that he had a child back in college and he only realizes it now because of the advent of DNA tests. In this case, the guy goes to a website called idreamofjeans.com and finds out that he has a 20-something-year-old son that he did not know he had, and how that would pan out. So that was basically the impetus for the main plot of this particular story.
I love it, though. I think that's a really actually something that could happen. I think that's a very realistic situation and scenario, and it really creates a nice core storyline for us to follow through.
Right. And again, it's it's kind of like what I described as a gay fantasia on heterosexual themes.
I think that's great. I mean, you've got some really fabulous people in there too. I saw Tim Moss was in it as well.
Woo! We love
I
Tim
adore
Moss,
Tim.
yes.
I've known Tim for a very long time, and we haven't worked together yet either. We need to work on something, Tim and I. But first,
I'm
you
all
and
for
I,
that.
though, we have to work on something together. But
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yes. And
I know I'm pretty sure I know where you filmed the red light the party scene, because I think I filmed there as well for a scene from Art of Blowing at one of our series. So it's a really cool studio that you could film in.
yes, it is. And the great thing about it was we used it twice. We just changed the colors, which
That's all you need to do sometimes. Independent film is about being creative with the resources you have.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I didn't realize exactly what I was undertaking with this, but we started filming, I believe, in January of 2024, and we didn't finish until September, possibly even October of
Yeah.
2024. So it was a lot. And I remember very vividly when I look at the movie now exactly how cold it was or how hot it was. And it was some points extremely cold and extremely hot. In the trailer that you saw, you have the guys jogging in Central Park, doing exercise. And that was in February. And I had to look and find out, okay, when will it be at least 50 degrees so that these guys aren't suffering through being outdoors in just workout clothes. And wow,
It's so hard to find the right time to film because there's always a reason that it's not a good time. Because I do a lot of horror films, so for me, summertime is really bad because everyone sweats, and so all the makeup gets all over the place. But in the winter, everybody's cold, so it's like there's no winning. It's really not winning at all.
Yeah.
Hi Tony, thanks for sharing that with us. I think it's really important as much as possible to bring inclusivity to and show the community as much as a whole so I know Jed also believes this as much as possible as well, and
Oh,
we like
absolutely.
to do that. So
yes, absolutely. And sometimes I think in the world we live in, I think our world is just naturally very diverse, the kind of circles we hang out in. And so when somebody commented about the movie, it was like, oh, wow, you really have a wide variety of people, a wide variety of body types, a wide variety of ages, a wide variety of ethnicities. In a way, it took me back because I didn't do that. I certainly didn't have a checklist. It's like, okay, let's cross off all the markers trying to be, diverse. It just kind of came naturally. And I was very grateful for that too. And I think real is just so much more sexy, don't you? I mean, don't you find
I think that's a big reason why to do it. Basically, I think it's just that's what we see around us. So why create something that isn't authentic?
exactly.
Independent film has the opportunity to do that. So
Yes, and it allows us to tell our own stories because I didn't really intend to. 5 years ago, I think I first started going into the entertainment industry. Almost everybody that we hang out with, like you mentioned, Tim, who's an amazing, very talented singer. He could have kept the Titanic afloat if somebody gave him a microphone. I'm convinced, and everything. And you have someone like Mark Eugene Garcia, who is a really talented actor. But I'm not a natural performer, and I don't really do that. That's not my first source of income. So for me, it was I'm very humbled by all the very talented people around me. But I did have a backstage profile, and I was going on auditions and trying to be a part of everything. And I got a lot of callbacks. I was in a lot of projects, but sadly, most of them never came into fruition. And I don't even know the story either. And I understand movie making is expensive. They may have ran out of money. The creators might have had issues that they couldn't finish their project. But it was very distressing for me because, and all of us, I think that everybody has either worked for either very little or no money, and you want, and they don't see the fruits of their labor, or the project never makes it to fruition. So that's one of the things I really wanted to make sure of with this. I wanted everybody who really was a part of this, I wanted them to really see the end result. So
no, that's really important. Somebody was actually asking me about that today, because I have a picture on my Instagram of me in a costume it's not one of my projects, but it's a project I did a long time ago, like over 10 years ago now. And they're like, "Where can I watch this project? Because you look really fun in this costume." And I said, unfortunately, they never finished the project, so all I have is that picture on Instagram. So I wish I could see it because it was a really fun thing that I was doing, but they just never got past the the plot, the planning phase, basically. So you're absolutely right. There's a million reasons why making an independent film never happened. Well, and film in general, not independent or otherwise. So and I say this to everybody out there who is a filmmaker who just wants to make something and feels like it's not good enough. If you finish it, you're a million steps further ahead than so many other people out there. So don't be afraid to finish it. And the worst thing that happens is you move on to the next thing, but you've made it, and that is the most important thing, I think, is finishing the project.
Thank you, and I admire the fact that you're so prolific too. It makes me. It reminds me of this. I have to say this quote from a profile of you that said, Joshua R. Pangborn traded the quote birches and beaches of the Adirondacks for the bright lights of the big city 2 decades ago, and he's been making movies, TV shows, and plays at a prolific pace ever since. But when I first read that, I didn't have my grandpa glasses on, and I thought it said that you traded the bitches of the Adirondacks. And all I could think of was like, oh wow, that would make a really great movie. The bitches
I
of
think
the
I
Adirondacks.
think that's maybe I might have to make that kind of movie. That the Bitches of the Adirondacks. That's a really that sounds like a really fun little horror film. So
It is. Don't be afraid of the witches of Eastwick. Be afraid of the bitches of the Adirondacks. You know. Hey, I'll watch that movie.
Hey, if you'll watch it, at least if one person does, then so I will go and I can go make that. Then I have a reason to. So
Yeah.
no, that would be fun. I do enjoy. I mean, exploitation films are always fun to make, so that would be fun. I would like that. I think that so where can people watch Modest Male Exposure 2 yet, or is that still in the festival circuit?
Well, it's in the. I believe it's the Alt Fest New York. New filmmakers, New York new filmmakers, and I'll maybe we could put that information somewhere afterwards. But
yeah, I can put it in there right now if you know the how do people can watch it.
Oh yes, it's the I think it's the New Filmmakers, New Filmmakers Plus, I believe. Have to I know that it is an online festival and it's free, and every month they rotate like which movies are going to be shown. There's shorts in there, and then there's feature-length films. You can even do a group view on there. You can invite other people to watch, and you might be able to find it faster than me here.
I'm looking, but I don't see.
It is New York-based film festival, really spotlighting like independence. But
I will be sure to post it in the comments later, since I can't seem to find it right now.
Yes. There is a link, though, that once you click on the link, you can watch the movies for free. And like I said, enables something called Group View. And this particular film festival went from live to online to reach out to a wider audience. But that movie is going to be playing all throughout. The movie is going to be playing as others all throughout the month of April. And we also have a live screening on Monday. Again, who says Mondays have to be boring?
Right.
Monday, May 19th at a really amazing place called the Lucky 13 Saloon in Brooklyn.
That's amazing.
Yes, and it's going to be 7 p.m. Modest Male Exposure 2, I Dream of Jeans, is going to be showing with another really great full-length film called Special Needs Revolt by Adrian Espinoza. And I watched the movie. He sent me a screener, and I was like, whoa, because it definitely had our sense of humor. It has almost the entire cast is differently abled, special needs, and yes, and that was a conscious choice and all that. And it's definitely over the top. It gets very political, but in a fun way. And in a way, it was a little, without getting too much into it, in a way, it was a little bit prophetic, because when the movie was made, they definitely predicted some things which, let's just say, sadly, are coming true. But yeah, but definitely it's a kind of like a trauma adjacent movie. And the two of them, my movie and his movie, they're just a great match. That's going to be Monday, May 19th at 7 p.m. at the Lucky 13 Saloon in Brooklyn.
Well, that's so cool.
Yeah, so those are two chances to see it. The New Filmmakers of New York Film Festival online, and this live screening at the Lucky 13. So I'm pretty happy. And you can also go to Vimeo, vimeo.com, and search for Modest Male Exposure 2, because it's on demand there, as well as the first one, Modest Male Exposure 1, if you want some continuity in your binge watching. And
I guess it's a good question. Is it important to see the first one before we see the sequel?
No, I don't think so. But you'll see that you'll see a lot of the characters in the first one, and like I said, this one gives them a little bit more to do. But I think for maximum effect, you could see both of them. But you could definitely.
Well, I think you. First of all, let me just say, everyone should go see both of them. I have seen Modest Male Exposure 1, and I know that it's a lot of fun, and it's a really, really cute film. About 25 minutes, I think, 30.
It's 25 minutes, and
so a nice 25-minute romp through a rugby locker room.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's all. Who doesn't love rugby and locker rooms? So
yes, trigger warning. There's full frontal male nudity in there, and
and lots of it. Yes.
Yes, lots of it. You know,
and based on the trailer for Modest Male Exposure 2, it looks like there's a great deal of it in there as well. So.
Well, there's a good amount, of course. Like, you know, some of the comments, I get a lot of comments, and some of the comments I get are that there's not enough, and I'm like, oh well, well, there'll be more.
Well, then, Modest Male Exposure 3 it is then. So.
Yes, which actually, like, I'm not averse to the idea. My poor husband, who's with me right now, I think he can. We have a small apartment, so he doesn't mind sharing the apartment with me, and even with our 2 ferrets and our 12 dormice right now. But I think he would have a problem with sharing it with the 2 ferrets, the 12 dormice, and the entire cast and crew of Modest Male Exposure Part 3 again. He said that if we make a third one, it would have to be pronounced Modest Male Exposure. Aye, you know. But you can't keep down the creative process, though. And
you can't. Are you making anything else right now? Are you writing anything right now?
Yes, I actually am writing the script for either. It will either be a continuity using the same characters, or it will be independent. But the story is definitely there.
Oh, fun.
And yes, and my partner in crime, my creative collaborator, Lady Clover Honey, she's got a very great affinity for horror movies as well. And she made a movie called Drag to Death, a short film, which definitely fits into that category. And so she also she also wrote a script which could possibly use the characters in a different kind of way. And
cool.
I'm like, wow. So yeah, it's one of those things that I'm kind of like you. I've been both in front of the camera and behind the camera, but I find that behind, whether I'm being a photographer or being a movie maker, I find that's a little bit more of a chance to really express your creativity and get your juices flowing and all that. So
then you prefer to be behind the camera then?
At this point, yes.
Fair. A lot of people find that as they sort of dig into it, they realize that there's more to it than just being an actor, and that's where they really get to sink their teeth into things. So
yes, absolutely. But again, I'm not averse to being in front of the camera too. I actually just found out that I'm in the season premiere of Impractical Jokers, which...
Oh, really?
Yes. Anytime you do any kind of this studio work for mainstream TV or movie studios, you never know when it's going to come out.
Yeah, no, of course.
You just never know. And for a while, I didn't see anything about the new season. All I know is it was really cool people, and it was a well-paid gig. And then I see somebody at work, oddly enough, at the hospital where I work, and he's like, "Oh, yo, man, I saw you in Impractical Jokers." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's great. Was I good?" Because I don't even think we get that station TBS.
You'll have to buy the episode then to see it. So. That must have been really interesting to do that kind of show, because that's kind of scripted, but kind of not scripted. So it's were you what did you do in it if you without telling us too much?
Well, basically, one of the guys, one of the guys who's being punked, thinks that he's teaching a lecture to a group of office workers about becoming closer as a work group and how to maximize things as a group and teamwork, obviously, productivity, that kind of thing. So he comes into the room and we're all there, and the first thing that happens is the TV, the monitor goes blank or something like that, and we're all sitting down. And one of the guys says, "It's okay, I'm IT, I'll fix it." And he gets up and he's pantsless. He's got no pants on, literally naked from the waist down. So then, of course, like, the guy's like shocked because he doesn't know what's going on. And then he says, "All right, we're going to do another we're going to do another group thing. Everybody stand up." And some of the people actually start like getting naked too, guys and girls. They start like, and then someone says, "Oh, group hug! Let's do a big group hug." And so everyone gathers around. Now, this particular cast member of Impractical Jokers is a known germaphobe. So to be like all of a sudden being in the middle of a circle where everybody's like buck naked, that's got to be hard for him. You could just see the terror in his eyes there. And
I do know that would be a very nicely paying gig, though. You're right, because if they're incorporating nudity, then it's a very nicely paying gig. So, very cool though. It's so much fun when somebody sees you in something that you've done that is mainstream, quote unquote, and they stop you and they're because when I did Poker Face, I got so many messages from random people being like, "Oh, people I haven't talked to for years." They're like, "Oh, I saw you in Poker Face." I'm like, "Oh, the 10 seconds I was in it. That's awesome. Thank you."
Yeah, well, you're pretty memorable, so I have no doubt they probably saw you, whether it was 5 seconds or 10 seconds. I would do that too. Like, "Hey, I know that guy. That's Josh."
Fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to have to be one of those people that because I remember when growing up, I mean, you would be like, "Oh, that person looks very familiar. We see him for 5 seconds, and there's and that ended up being me. I'm one of those roles, so that's really cool. So.
Mhm.
And similarly for you then, so that's fun.
It was it was a good paycheck. It was enough to pay my membership for Backstage again, and even pay Mark Eugene Garcia and Rocco Chanel's salary for the movie.
Oh, that's nice.
It just comes in and goes right out, right? That's the way life
being
is.
an independent artist. It comes in and goes out, and you never ever really realize how much money you don't have. So
Exactly. Well, my mother died, and she died on Valentine's Day.
I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
no, it's okay. I didn't like her. I hated her. So it's okay. You can all laugh if you want to. But she died on Valentine's Day, 2020. Thank you. And she died on Valentine's Day, and I still swear she was reincarnated as the coronavirus, because after she died, the shite hit the fan, and just all the anger of her miserable life was unleashed. But I did get a small inheritance, and I won't tell you all how much I made, but if you have any Joan Crawford fans out there, Mommy Dearest fans, which is appropriate because she was Mommy Dearest, my mother. She was with I got as much as the 2 twin daughters were paid each. That was my inheritance. We all know Christina didn't get squat. She got nothing. But the 2 twin girls were paid a certain amount. And you can all Google it if you want to, but that's how much my inheritance was. So it did, I guess I should have to thank my late mother, as a producer, because my first movie. And it was a lot more money back when Joan Crawford died than when my mother did. So
of course, yeah. But that's sometimes you just have to be as an independent creator, you're thankful for where it comes from, and you sometimes don't question it.
Yes. Well, I don't have any more rich relatives ready to. No, never mind. Let's not go there. Yes, exactly.
So, so you are also an actor. Have you acted in anything recently, or other than this Impractical Jokers thing, which sounds like it was fairly recent? So
it was fairly recent, and again, I have yet to see the episode, so I have to write that down. Yes, put that on my watch list there. In between A Taste of Youth and Brooklyn Butcher, of course,
It's true. Both of those are important things to watch, I believe. So
Yes, yes. But I also was in Todd Vero. Do we love Todd Vero? Yes, we love Todd
Yes,
Vero.
of course.
One of the founders of the new queer movement back in the '90s. He did the movie Frisk and a whole bunch of like other great movies. He was independent when independent was just starting to be cool. And last year I had one scene in his movie Memorabilia, which
Mm.
which I believe is playing in Europe right now at assorted film festivals and everything.
I feel like I I almost want to say that it was I think it is. It's playing at Wicked Queer.
Shut the front door. Oh, I might have to fit a trip to Boston into the weekend now.
No, it played on Friday this past week.
Oh well. I'll wait till it comes to New York. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I was like, I know that title because I've looked at all the movies in the festival, and I was like, oh, that was in Wicked Queer. So
yeah, it's kind of like modest male exposure to don't take the kids to see this one.
well, when the contract comes out, you should not bring the children to see that either. So, well,
oh no,
I would because I don't believe in censorship, but I understand other people would not want to do that. So,
right.
well, that's exciting though. That's really really cool.
Oh.
And so I always love to ask people who make films, what are some movies you've seen recently that you really, really are passionate about, that you really love? Anything new that you've seen that you are excited about?
Oh wow. Well, I really highly recommend the Andy Warhol Diaries, which is on Netflix, and it's not brand new. I think it might have even come out last year, but I just love the way that even though Andy Warhol had his heyday in the '70s and '80s, that really, when you watch it now, it just seems so much more modern than a lot of the stuff that we watch now. And it was real. It incorporates some documentary footage, and it incorporates people reading from his diary, his actual diaries, and a lot of his stuff too, because he was on MTV in the '80s. He was a celebrity of his own making at that time period. And I watch it, and I really think about how I think I relate more to those people in that era than I do sometimes in this modern era. Like when you watch, and again, it's no diss to Neil Patrick Harris because I like him a lot, but I had nothing. That sitcom that he had, and I can't remember.
How I Met Your Mother.
No, not that one. Where he plays a gay single guy, and it's his.
Wasn't it Single or Single? I know what you're talking about.
Yes, he plays a single guy who's navigating the world of dating and getting used to all the apps like Grindr and Uncoupled, yes. And it was cute. Joe and I, my husband, did binge watch it. But a lot of times I was like, oh, I can't relate to any of these people. This is not the New York that I know. And I think I relate to the characters in this series, the Andy Warhol Diaries on Netflix, because I like hanging out with really creative types, non-pretentious types, people that just want to hang out for the sake of having fun. And you laugh and you drink and you just have a really good time. We all enjoy each other's company. We all support each other. That's the way I feel when I hang out with my bunch. And so in a way, it kind of inspires me, even though, come on now, like this is decades ago. I highly recommend that. And there's a lot of stuff that as queer independent artists, we can relate to in this day and age. So
I'll have to check that out. That's exciting.
Please do.
I mean, I see that you are a big supporter of nightlife in New York. I think that I see you popping up all the time in random places, and I'm like, oh, well, Jed is there, interesting. And for things from like horror trivia to random leather events, I see you supporting the community, and it's really lovely. So,
thank you. Well, I do my best. I'm not a full-time socialite. I have a job, I hate to use the term day job, because I actually work the night shift, but that's what pays the bills. And so I'm not quite a full-time socialite. Yet. But I do try to make the most of my time off, and I try to be supportive to different communities, whether it's the leather community, the bear community, cabaret artists, and things like that, and horror trivia. That's like one of the horror trivia at Rock Bar with Coma White and Justin Lockwood. That's
Yep.
definitely got to be one of the best kept secrets because it's just such a fun atmosphere. And
It really is.
Mhm.
I love having Coma and Justin just there talking about what they do and having a fun time with really challenging questions.
Yeah. Hmm.
They run a really great show, and you need to know your horror because they put you through the ringer sometimes. So.
Oh, they sure do. I mean, I don't win anything when I go there. I think that my my horror movie expertise probably stopped somewhere in the 90s. There's actually like a whole decade and a half that I'm not overly familiar with, but I'm learning. I really am.
You slow and steady. Just find more movies to watch, and then if nothing else, just watch my horror movies. There you go. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hmm. Yeah.
That's really cool though. The Andy Warhol Diaries on Netflix. I'll have to watch that. And anything else? Anything that's in theaters recently that you wanted to shout out praises to?
Oh wow. Well, the last movie we saw was Snow White. So
Well, did you? I have not seen Snow White. Did you like it?
I did, and I have to admit that after a year and a half of people just hating on the movie for all these assorted reasons, I have to say, okay, we have to go see the movie by ourselves. I'm like, okay, what's more pathetic than a middle-aged man going to see a children's movie in the theater? Two middle-aged men going to see a children's movie in the theater. So it was the tail end of my birthday weekend, and we were winding down on a Sunday, and I said, all right, I want to go see this. So we went, and I thought it was cute. I wanted to see a Disney movie, and we did. But again, I don't understand why. I think I'm a big YouTube addict, and I'll watch YouTube videos from morning to night. If I don't actually watch them, I'll just listen to them. If I'm at the gym or on the subway. And I just couldn't believe. I'm like, whoa, just everything. This is worthy of like a documentary in itself. How much this movie had to go through this Disney movie before it
Well,
actually.
there's so much. It's so there's so much vitriol that people want to spread about everything these days. Like anytime, like the Superman movie that's coming out is a great example because anytime James Gunn posts something about Superman, there's a billion comments about how much they hate something about it, and the same thing with the Snow White movie, how much people hate. It's I really believe in on social media, if my job is not to be a critic, if I'm not paid to be a critic, then I'd rather just talk about things I love and not spend all this time talking about things I hate. I used to be different, but as I gotten older, I'm like, well, let's just celebrate things that are good because there's so much negativity out there.
Yes, yes,
And
there
Tony,
absolutely
I don't
is.
think it's weird for you to like Minions. If you like the Minions, you should like the Minions. So.
Yes, exactly. And before that, I think the movie that we saw in the theater was The Last Showgirl with Pam Anderson, and
Oh, I haven't seen that yet, but
it was really good. And Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and she's been one of my favorites for a really long time, and she's just such an ally to our community. So uh, I I really like that one too. And I'm a big fan of seeing movies in the theater. Watching movies with a group. Gauging people's reactions and things like that.
I'm a
So
huge fan of that too. I really like to celebrate cinema. That's I mean that makes sense for the both of us though. So um was so was Modest Mel your first film that you made, or did you make anything before that, or did you just jump into the deep end?
pretty much with the first one, Modest Male Exposure. Again, Lady Clover Honey and I, we had wanted to work together on something. And again, we shared that fascination with changing perceptions of modesty and sexuality and nudity among men. I mean, there have been entire like articles written about that, and entire, you know, uh, entire discourses about that
Yeah.
kind of thing. And we always found it very fascinating. So she wrote the script, so she's credited as the script writer, but I definitely went through it as a writer and I offered some suggestions. And I've also produced that movie. And being a 25-minute movie, it was I was like, yeah, I want this to be my first project as producer.
That's
And
so cool.
yeah, and we recruited like a whole bunch of people that were really enthusiastic about it and got a good response. but that was my first time doing anything like that.
I remember Mark talking to me about it because we were on set filming one of the things for Skeleton Crew, and he was telling me about this new project he was doing, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds really, really exciting to be doing this kind of work." So I remember I heard about you way back before I even knew you existed. So and our paths keep crossing, and it's lovely to that what they do. So
yes, and sometimes we actually like when it happens, it's a wonderful thing, which is a really great thing.
Some nice synergy there and everything.
Right.
But
again, both these movies are comedies. So if you watch the first movie, is it this very serious expose with tons of research about the male sexuality and all that? No, but it is definitely a fun 25-minute romp with a lot of campiness and again a lot of male nudity. I was always joking around that it costs $2.99 to buy the movie on Vimeo. That's less than $1 a penis. So I think that's a pretty good bargain, don't you?
And it's a mockumentary, and everybody likes mockumentaries. So
yes, absolutely.
Is Modest Male Exposure 2 a mockumentary as well, or did you change genre?
No, it's a straight up comedy, and there are it's not a mockumentary. It's a straight up comedy, and I wanted it to be. And someone again, I love the way people write these anonymous reviews on IMDb. One guy actually wrote a review, and his name was Cinemasturbation. Yes, and I was annoyed, not because of what he wrote, but I was annoyed that I didn't think of this first and copyright that name. But he had a lot of things to say about the movie. I still don't know who this person is. I want to find out. But he said, the acting, there's differences in the acting abilities. It's clear that Jed Ryan hired his friends to be in the movie. I'm like, well, what do you expect? Do you want me to hire my enemies? Really?
That's how it works in independent film. I'm sorry if people don't know that secret. I will tell that secret. A lot of times when you're making an independent movie, you talk to people you're friends with because you have to spend a lot of time with them and you want to like what you're doing. So
yeah. I'm like, no, I'm going to hire the guy that stole my parking spot or someone who had sex with my husband when I was at work. Really, I'll hire those people instead. But I appreciate it. I appreciate all feedback. I've always said that. And what was I going to say? So there are some serious moments which some people have commented on, and I'm glad. I'm glad there are some serious moments. I'm glad some people can laugh. Some people might shed a tear. If it arouses some people and turns them on, that would be great too. If we could do all three, make them laugh, make them cry, and give them a boner, I'm all for that.
That's the goal of every filmmaker, I think. So
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, Jed, we are running out of time, but I wanted to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate having you here and getting to sit down and talk to you. We always run into each other, but we don't ever have enough time to just sit and talk to each other. And this was great. I really had a great time.
Yes, I know. Well, we are definitely going to work together in the future. And I really want to wish you, I hope you have a great time this weekend in Boston and everything. And congratulations again.
Thank you so much. And if I can, I will be there in May, but my schedule in May and June is a little up in the air right now. But if I can be there, I will be. So
well, you're just the busiest man in showbiz at the moment.
You have no idea. My life is no. I'm joking, but anyway, everyone, have a lovely evening. Thank you all for joining me and Jed tonight. It was so nice to see all of you, and I will see you all next Monday with our special guest next week. Until then, have a great week, everybody.
SideKick Productions.
And that's the tea.